Listen to me. Just hear me out here. Hear me out. What you have to offer is valuable. No one in the world is like you. No one in the world can offer what you offer. No one in the world can do what you do exactly the way that you do it. What is going on, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Switch Podcast. In today's episode, we are talking about something that I can admit I still struggle with, and I've struggled with this for a very long time, but I am recovering. Today, we are talking about comparison, the very thief of joy, like the passage says. And in today's social media driven world, comparison is a constant challenge, a constant reminder that you are not enough, that whatever it is that you're working on isn't good enough. So I would like to focus on that. Today's switch, external validation to internal focus. Let's get started. It's very common for people to compare themselves to others. I've done it before, and it's not a very validating feeling. Comparing yourself to other people can lead to feelings of inadequacy, which is the feeling that you are not enough. You can lose focus on what's right in front of you, which is often what you need to focus on, and place that focus on what someone else has or whatever it is that they're doing, which is often not where your focus should be. There are three things to keep in mind: social conditioning, social expectation, and lastly, the rise of social media. Social conditioning is the process of learning how to think, how to feel, and behave according to what's considered normal in society or a peer group within the society. For example, in the movie Mean Girls, Katie became part of Regina's group. Even though her initial intention was to sabotage the group from within, she ended up assimilating into the group. And as a result, she ended up doing some mean things, for lack of better words. Societal expectations, the shared beliefs and standards that shape whatever society considers normal, defining ethical behavior, personal responsibility, and the expectations placed on individuals and organizations. In simpler terms, whatever the group is feeling, or for whatever reason they're doing whatever it is that they're doing, you should have the same belief. For example, in Regina's peer group, it is expected that they be mean to people that they consider to be less than them. And lastly, the rise of social media. I could talk about this for a very long time, but if you're anyone that uses any form of social media today, you would know that there comes a time, for whatever reason, you just need to step away from them for a bit. Maybe it's an overload of information, time consumption, or maybe, just maybe, hear me out here, you're tired of subconsciously comparing yourself to other people that seemingly have it much better than you do. Now, it's no surprise that there are plenty of things that can be a deterrent from progress, much like we had talked about in our previous episodes. But in this case, comparison drains your energy, it diminishes your self-worth, and it just takes your focus away from your own goals. So your energy, it fuels just about everything for you. It just fuels your focus, it fuels your action, and it fuels your progress. But when you start comparing yourself to others, that energy shifts outward. Instead of building your own path, you're caught up in what someone else has. You're caught up in what they're doing. You're caught up in where they're going. And over time, that takes a toll. It drains your confidence, it fuels self-doubt, and it leaves you feeling stuck. So the more you focus on them, the less you have left for yourself. Comparison distracts you, but it doesn't only distract you. It wears you down. There goes your energy. The next thing is that it diminishes your self-worth. And when you know how valuable you are to other people, it can be a boost for you in any endeavor that you have going on. See, what comparison does is that it diminishes that. You start to think that you are not as important as other people and that you're just not as valuable. Listen to me. Just hear me out here. Hear me out. What you have to offer is valuable. No one in the world is like you. No one in the world can offer what you offer. No one in the world can do what you do exactly the way that you do it. And comparison instead tells you that everyone else has everything to offer and what you have to offer has already been done. So what's the point? I heard someone say that the Apple, like the company Apple, doesn't make anything that doesn't already exist. They make laptops, they make watches, they make phones. These things already exist. They just do it in such a way that you can't resist. It goes to show that your ideas are worth trying. Even if it seems like it's already been done, your way of doing it might become the new standard. In one of our previous episodes, I mentioned a yield sign and how at some point you needed to get a move on in your project. Comparison is not a yield sign. It's a bright, red, flashing stop sign. It'll bring you to a full stop, drain your momentum, pull you off track, and keep you stuck. You'll be right there at the stop sign watching other people progress while you're not doing anything. And the longer you stay there, the harder it is to get going again. So here's the switch. Learn to focus on your unique journey. Define your own success and celebrate progress. Comparison has a way of making you feel like you're always behind. Like no matter what you do, someone else is doing it better, faster, or with more ease. But here's the truth. Comparison isn't the measure of your worth. Your growth is. So instead of getting stuck watching someone else's progress, switch your focus back to your own path, because your path isn't meant to look like theirs. Also, success isn't a race, and your timeline isn't meant to match anyone else's. The more you focus on someone else's progress, the less you appreciate your own. So, switch your focus back to your own journey. Define success in a way that feels right for you and celebrate the steps that you're taking, no matter how small. Because real progress doesn't happen when you measure yourself up. It happens when you move forward. Now, here is your challenge for the week. Grab a journal and identify one area where you've been comparing yourself to other people. Ask yourself, if you let go of that comparison, how would your journey change? Where could you be if you focused on your own path instead? Once you know what that would look like, figure out the steps you would take to get there. This is how we switch from comparison to focus, by shifting from external validation to internal clarity. When we stop measuring our progress against someone else's and start to find success in our own terms, we take back control. The real growth happens when we allow ourselves the chance to focus on what truly matters to us and move forward with intention. Thank you for giving this episode a listen. I hope you found the content helpful. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. And until next time, keep switching your perspectives for the better. Ciao.